All it takes is one time with this torch and this tip, and you'll be sold on the tip for sure. My name is Brent Culley. I work for Gene's Paint and Body in Denton, Texas. The shop has been here since 1953. It's a family-owned business. It's a collision repair shop, but we also specialize in emergency vehicle repair. We do all the factory repairs for Pierce Manufacturing, which is a pretty big manufacturer. They're tied in with Oshkosh, the same company, so they're big. They build probably 80% of the fire trucks and emergency vehicles in the world, actually. Okay, well, like I said, I've do welding here in the shop. It's pretty general, but I have worked for ConocoPhillips, and I used to work on their vessels in out in the ocean and did pipe welding and all kinds of specialty welding. And when I was in high school, actually, I started out building pipe fence all around the state of Texas here in the North Texas area. So I spent a lot of time on the end of an old Stinger with 100 foot of lead, and you'd have to throw it on the ground because it gets so hot you couldn't hold it in your hand.
So Brent, along with the fabricator, we outfitted it with this MIG gun. It's kind of special. It's got a unique front end on it, what we refer to as a Velocity Consumables, and this is our new Fusion MIG gun. Can you tell us a little bit about how you like this MIG gun?
Well, first of all, when I pulled this machine out of the box, I could see quality stuff, just the gas line and the torch body and everything. And then I started to weld with this. This tip is the same tip that was on the gun whenever I took it out of the box, and I'm on my 4th roll of wire with the same tip. I haven't had any problems at all. And on a conventional welding tip, you will notice that you have a lot of slag buildup, especially if you're upside down welding. This will build up. You'll have to pull the tip off and grind it out, scrape it out or whatever, put it back on so your gas can surround your weld again. You don't have that problem with this tip. It just doesn't build up in there. Also, for upside down welding, the cone on the tip is a whole lot more sharp, so it directs your gas a lot more. So you don't necessarily have to hold your gun completely vertical like this to get an upside down weld. You can direct it accordingly depending on what kind of situation you're in, and your gas is funneled towards your weld a whole lot more, so it doesn't dissipate in the air as much. It's really, all it takes is one time with this torch and this tip, and you'll be sold on the tip for sure.
Excellent.
And
good.
Also the size of the tip inside. If you'll pull your tip off of your weld machine that you use now, you'll notice the dimension, the diameter of the tip is about 3 times the size of a standard one. Also, it's all copper, so there's no brass, there's no anything in there besides copper, so you get great conductivity. That's it.
Certainly. How about fewer parts too?
Yes, a lot less parts.
And is that handy?
It's great.
Fewer parts?
Yep. Because you have just the tip. That's it. Yeah. That's all you have. And you'll notice inside the tip that it's double walled. That helps a lot for keeping the torch cool, I think, as you're running it for a long period of time. But
wonderful. Excellent. A typical tip on a burn back, you got to unthread the tip.
Right.
There's no threads here, so your tip's not locked up with that wire burnt on the inside.
Which is exactly the situation with my spool gun.
Yeah.
And I told you, when I get to the end of my wire and the roll starts to get short, the spool starts to surge, and when that happens with an aluminum gun, it burns back instantly. So then you got to fight that aluminum wire through there.
Right.
You got to cut it, throw your tip away, get another tip. It's a lot of work. It's like driving a British car.